This week we'll be going to Kelly Falls.
We got a bit of rain.
We'll be painting from the top of a waterfall with breathtaking views of the valley below. So sit back, relax and get comfortable.
Let's get started, enjoy, and I'll see you soon.
This is one of my favourite spots to Plein Air Paint. It is just off the Princess Highway, adjacent to Helensburgh. If you go further along towards the coast, you'll reach Stanwell Tops. That's where you can grab a cup of coffee and watch the hang gliders dance in the skies. This waterfall does run all year round, but during winter time it does receive some flash flooding and is close to the public at that time. The canvas I'm using I've applied acrylic paint to the night before. Just gives me a smoother surface to work on. I start with mixing some ultramarine blue and some permanent crimson. Then I just add a little bit of white to it just to give me some outlines, and I start blocking in some big shapes. Then I work on the atmosphere towards the right there, keeping the tones very light, very misty, and the tones just get stronger as it reaches the foreground. I move my way towards the overhanging rocks. I keep these colours nice and cool. I need to divide the cool with the warm shadow colours on the left. I'm mostly using ultramarine blue, permanent crimson, a bit of white and some burnt umber. Now I'm adding some shadows using ultramarine blue and some raw umber. Now I'm working on the section below the waterfall. You need to be careful not to make these colours too strong, otherwise it will bring that to the foreground. I need to keep them light, keep them cool, and keep them in the distance. Here I'm adding some warm tones to the trees behind the rocks. This helps push the rocks to the front and give it a nice clean, sharp edge. Now it's time to add some definition and some sharp edges. As you can see, I've gotten to this point. I've been painting for about an hour. It's been such a complicated scene with a couple of corrections. That's pretty much just my blocking in. So you can see how complicated it can be and how time consuming it can be if you don't simplify it at first, and a bit of planning. But that's all part of the fun. We learn, we paint, we enjoy the scenery. We're out in nature. It's fantastic. You should try it. So the tones from the left of that rock to the right, and some slight variations. And what splits that in half is the highlights right on that point. This is definitely one we need to bring back. It's a bit more complicated than I thought. But as you can see, what a fantastic environment we have here. Beautiful country. And if you stayed this long, stay tuned for the next episode of Plein Air Painting, and take care. And welcome back to the channel. Today we find ourselves at, and stay tuned.